Justin,
Yes, Jen.
I've gotten to know you over the past 3 years. I know your wife, Kelly, daughter, Alexis, Cole, your son.
Yes.
But the rest of LKQ is really dying to get to know who is Justin Jude? Who is our next CEO? So we'd like to do something called Beyond the Desk with Justin.
Okay.
12 very easy questions that we're going to talk through. Are you ready?
Yes, I am now.
Let's start with something simple. What's your comfort food go-to?
That's hard and easy because there is not a single food. I love food. If I eat a burger one day, it's great, but then I want pizza the next day or I want a steak the next day. I find comfort in all foods.
Food. Comfort
Yes.
in all foods.
It's
There
sad,
you go. You
but
just can't single it down to one.
no, it's hard. It's too hard.
Yeah, I get it. All right, next one. Everyone has a hobby or two. What do you like to do in your free time?
So between work and kids, there's not a lot of free time. But actually, my hobby you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I enjoy sports with my kids. So my daughter's in a volleyball, horseback riding. My son's in a basketball and baseball. And between those 4 different events, it keeps me quite busy. But if I have free time outside of that, I like to ride ATVs and just, ride ATVs, I would say.
Be one with nature.
Be one with nature with a little bit of horsepower.
With a little bit of horsepower.
Yes.
So I'm curious about your childhood memories. You grew up in Ohio. We all know that. You're a Buckeye fan.
Yes.
What was your favorite game to play as a kid?
Surprisingly, it was football. I mean, Ohio State's great football college, but I was never very good, and my body was not designed for football. But I loved football, loved the teams, the different students that I played with that are have friendships today from. But I would say the favorite sport I played was football.
Yeah, I hear you cracked a rib once.
So technically, I didn't crack a rib. I'd love to say it's more manly to say I cracked a rib, but I popped the lung.
That's even more manly, right?
I don't know. I think it's less, but it'd be nice if it was, popped or cracked the lung or, popped the rib and cracked it. But no, I was just fielded a football, got speared with a helmet, and then I woke up about 5 minutes later and they rushed me to the hospital. So.
I am sure if that injury had not happened, the Buckeyes would have been calling.
The Ohio State?
Ohio State Buckeyes
would have called. They might have.
All right, we're getting a little deeper now.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
That is a tough question. Man, there's multiple folks I'd love to have dinner with. Probably the one that's fresh in my mind is I would say Winston Churchill. I just visited, our European operations, and when I was in London, I got to tour the Winston Churchill Museum, and what I learned about what he did to bring the different parties together, when during the war, it was pretty amazing. And just so it's fresh in my mind, I would say, but it'd be nice to have a dinner with Winston Churchill.
Yeah. Come up with a new logo like the Stay Calm and Carry On.
Stay calm and carry on.
I love it.
Yeah.
So travel. You've been traveling a lot to our European operations.
I have.
It often open your eyes to new experiences. What's the most interesting place you've visited so far?
I would say Europe in general. So pre, LKQ, I never spent any time in Europe. And so I've made quite a bit of trips over there to meet with our different executive teams and seeing the UK and the Switzerland and our German operations and Benelux. And, I'm just amazed at like mass transit, trains, right? Just, how you can jump on a train and go 4 hours away from an airplane or on a train, convenience of it. Every area I've visited had a different history and cultures, and that's so it's hard to narrow that down to one place. But Europe was just very impressive.
Just all of Europe.
All of Europe.
Favorite place to travel? Are you taking the kids there yet?
I have not taken the kids there, so I don't know if it's my favorite place to travel. I'm a beach person.
Ooh.
Love to go to the beach. My family loves to go to the beach. So as long as the water's clear, it's warm, and there's refreshing drinks coming, I like to go to the beach.
Stay hydrated
always.
Always. Do you have a favorite beach?
Safety first. Yeah, so all the beaches we've been to as a family or individually, Turks and Caicos.
Oh, I like that place.
That's gorgeous. The clear water, and all the locals there they thrive on tourism, so they're just so nice, and they cater to tourism, and the beaches are beautiful. The water's clear. Great sea life to watch if you want to like to snorkel or scuba dive. It's a great place.
I agree. Here's a fun scenario. If you could have one superpower for a day, what would it be?
Well, it's easy. Fly.
Fly? Why?
My greatest superhero of all time was Superman. And I don't want to get into the DC versus Marvel and all that. But I'm afraid of heights, first off. But
Good superpower to have, then fly.
yeah.
Just
But I figured
conquer
if I
it.
can fly, I'm not worried about falling.
Yeah.
It's not really the fear of heights; it's a fear
Fear
of
of falling.
falling. So I would say flying.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We all have little things that make our day better. What's a simple pleasure that you just can't live without?
I'd say talking to my kids.
Oh,
I travel a lot with work, so being able to call them in the morning before they go to school, getting on FaceTime between school and practice, or right before they go to bed, it's like whatever, how bad my day was or good it was, it just always gets better after I talk to them.
this next question is meaningful to me because I just love music, right?
Okay.
So, looking back at your life soundtrack, what song would you say is your life anthem?
That's another tough question
Yeah.
and a good question. Songs that get me up the beat and are like, if it comes to mind, Thunderstruck.
Ooh.
I'm not a big workout person, but if I put that song in my AirPods and I crank it up, I'm all of a sudden more motivated to work out, or a
AC/DC.
little AC/DC
Yeah.
action. Enter Sandman, Metallica, some of those types of that just got a good beat and good like pump
Those are
you up.
all the ones from like my warm up tape in
Yes.
high school. Yeah.
Yes, and they were on my warm up tape and
Yeah.
they're still on my
Yeah.
warm
Still
up
on
tape.
my. Well, you got to go with what works, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Little personal. What's one of your favorite memories of your kids?
You know, the best times that I remember are always vacations.
Mm.
And you know, we spend time together quite a bit at Christmas and you know different holidays. But when we go on vacation, it's just the family, and it's all about the kids. And the most one that comes to mind is Turks and Caicos, and where I can see my kids out there playing in the ocean, splashing around, throwing a ball back and forth, and I'm just sitting there watching, and then just gets emotional a little bit.
Yeah.
Think about it, but
Taking it all in.
But yeah, just hanging out with the kids and seeing them enjoying themselves like at a vacation or some amusement park or something that they're excited about.
Aw. In all the places of the world, where's one place that you haven't been but you would like to visit?
I'd have to say Hawaii.
I've never been to Hawaii either.
I've never been. When my wife and I got engaged and we got married, we talked about going to Hawaii on our honeymoon, and financially that did not happen. And 21 years later, we've still yet to go to Hawaii. But I mean, there's a lot of beautiful places in this world, but of all the places that we've talked about and I've looked at going to is Hawaii.
Yeah, that's an amazing place. That's on my list too. So finally, if you could master one skill that you don't have right now, what would it be?
So I think I have some skills that they need to be improved upon. Rick Galloway always talks about, you know, you have 2 ears and one mouth, so listen more. And whether that's at work or family, I say I listen, but I think we all could probably listen more. And so I'd say listen better.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna throw an extra one in there because I noticed the shirt that you're wearing is a little nostalgic. It's vintage. It's our old logo.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I guess it is.
What can you tell me about that shirt?
Well, I mean, if you look at the history of LKQ, we're a recycling business.
Yeah.
Right now, we're all about sustainability, and we've always been about sustainability. So there is some nostalgia to it. But I guess if we're a recycling business at heart, we're a sustainable business. That's why I wore it.
That's a perfect reason. That's your nod to sustainability.
Yes, that's exactly.
Just a great example all around, Justin. I love it. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with me today. And I hope everyone got a chance to get to know you a little bit better.
Well, thank you for the questions,
Yeah.
and I hope they got to know me a little bit better as well.
Great.